Hello students, welcome to this video tutorial on the Skyscraper game. Skyscraper game is a puzzle game, okay? So we're going to start with a 4x4 grid. And you'll notice around the outside that the reason why it's called the Skyscraper game is that we have skyscrapers consisting of 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and 4 blocks. Okay, in terms of SketchUp 8 tools, there are 4 main tools that you'll be using. First is the selection arrow tool here. Then we'll be using the move tool, and of course the orbit tool and the magnifying glass, the zoom tool, which you know how to use. Okay, so let's zoom in. Now let's concentrate on the rules of the game, okay? There are 4 main rules. Number 1 is your job is to complete the grid so that every row and every column has one of each, has one block, 2 block, 3 block, and 4 block skyscraper. Rule number 2, each row and each column only contains one of each of the different types of skyscrapers. Rule number 3, the numbers on the outside of the grid tell you how many skyscrapers you can see from that point of view. And then the 4th rule is more of a hint. Remember, you cannot see shorter skyscrapers behind taller skyscrapers. Okay, so let's just start the game. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my selection arrow tool, and I'm going to click on a 1 block skyscraper. You notice how it becomes highlighted in blue. Next, I'm going to click on the move tool, and then I'm going to click once on that object that I want to move. Don't hold the mouse button. So I'm going to activate this move tool by clicking on it. And then now I don't have my finger on the mouse button. I can move that 1 block skyscraper into position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it into this grid. Where I want it to stay, I'm going to click a second time on my mouse button. And it should be locked into place. Now, if I use my orbit tool, I want to make sure that that skyscraper is sitting on the ground on the grid. Okay, so I've successfully moved that block. Okay, so now I'm going to switch tools back to the selection arrow tool, and I'll click on a 2 block skyscraper. I'm going to switch to the move tool. I'm going to click once on that skyscraper. Don't hold the mouse button. And then I'm going to move it into position here. I'm going to move it into the corner here, and I'm going to click to lock it into position. Okay, I could zoom in a little bit here, and then what I want to do is I want to use the orbit tool and make sure that it's aligned perfectly. Okay, it's sitting on the grid. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's change tools again. Let's click on the selection arrow tool, and let's click on a 3 block skyscraper. I'm going to switch to the move tool. I'm going to click once on that skyscraper, and then I'm going to move it into this corner. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on this column here first. I don't want to go randomly across the board. I want to focus on one column or one row at a time. Okay? And then finally, I'll click on the selection arrow tool. I'll click on the 4 block skyscraper. I'll click on the move tool. I'll click once. Don't hold the mouse button. And I'll move it into position here. Okay, and I'll click a second time to lock it into place. Now let's have a look, make sure that all 4 skyscrapers are touching the grid. Okay, so because I focused on this column, I can see that this column has successfully followed one of the rules, is that it has one of each type of skyscraper. Okay, so now let's focus on the number outside of that column. This number here is 2. So what that means is from this point of view, I can only see 2 skyscrapers. So look at this column here. I can only see the 2 block skyscraper and the 4 block skyscraper. Remember, there was a hint. Rule 4 is that shorter skyscrapers can't be seen behind taller ones. Now, if I move to this part of the grid here, I'll notice that the clue that's given is that there are 2 skyscrapers that can be seen from this point of view. So if I put my camera at that point of view, can you only see 2 skyscrapers? Yes, that is correct. Okay, so I know for sure that this column is done. Okay, so again, it is a puzzle game. You may think that you've got one row done, and then it might not work for the corresponding column that goes across it. But I'm telling you, as part of the answer, that this column is correct. So what I want you to do is I want you to load this one, the skyscraper game template, and I'd like you to complete this puzzle. Make sure you save it into your student number immediately, and then complete the puzzle and call Mr. Ueda over to show him your solution, and he'll tell you whether you have completed that puzzle or not. All right, have fun. Again, this is problem solving. You've always got to be using your SketchUp 8 tools to make sure you're following the rules. All right, good luck. Have fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.